Now that we understand how to use Unity, let's begin actually creating our game. Now, if you've been skipping videos, this is a video that you're not going to want to skip. Up until now, we've been doing a few things related to Unity, and one of the most annoying things is that I constantly have to switch back and forth between my scene view and my game view to represent or to visualize the changes. Now, Unity understands that there are different workflows and what people want, and for example, I want to be able to view my game view and my scene view in real time. And that's where these panels come into play. Every panel you see here is entirely customizable. What I mean by that is that I can select the hierarchy here and I can completely drag this and snap it to a new location. If I wanted to take my game view and place it under my scene view, I can now see both my scene view and my game view. And what that allows me to do is I can take my cube using the move tool, I can actually move it and I can see it happen in real time in my game view. You can imagine building a mobile app where you're designing UI, how useful it is to build it in the scene view and visualize it and see how it looks in real time in the game view. So all of these panels can be adjusted, and if you were to mess up the desired look here and get back to the default, you can do that by simply going to the right, selecting layout, and selecting default. That will reset everything so that you're back to how Unity started. Now, what I'm going to show you and recommend, and what we'll be using throughout this entire course, as well as every one of my courses, is that there is a professional layout that I highly recommend. Now, you already know that I've been working with Unity for the past 10 years, building enterprise apps and video games for the industry. And what I have used for those solid 10 years is a layout that I tell all of my students to use, as well as everyone that I've trained professionally in the workplace. To get a layout that is professional to use and that provides the most optimized workflow, you're going to want to adjust these panels to a few settings, and then I'll show you how to save that setting. So the first thing that we're going to do here is I'm going to take the game view and I'm going to position it below the scene view. For starters, I need to make sure that I can view things in real time. And to actually save us some space and some time, let's go ahead and actually go to the right, and we're going to select the tall layout. The tall layout is going to provide a few things for us. For starters, my scene view is nice and big. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take the game view and I want to snap it below the scene view so that it's here. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to drag this game view up to about the midpoint so that it's aligned with my project view. Already you can see here that we have a very clean look. I have my scene view on top, my game view on the bottom, and then here I have my hierarchy on the right, my inspector, and my project view. If I drop into the scene here, I can see here I have 4 game objects in my scene, and as I select them, I have easy access to the detailed information from the inspector view, as well as I can access any project materials that I need, and I can just simply drag them onto any game objects. This is going to provide me with an efficient workflow to create modern applications as well as intense video games. Another thing that I've seen and that I also use is that if I'm building purely a vertical mobile app, I might take the game view and I'll actually go ahead and slide it vertically so that as I'm developing my tall UI layout on the left, I can see it on the right. And I still have my detailed information on the right, my hierarchy, as well as my project view. The next thing that I don't like here is that, and I'm just going to set this back down here, the next thing that I'm not too happy with here is the way that we're actually viewing our project files. Right now, we're going to have more project files later, but currently we have scenes and materials. And you'll notice here that I can't view more than one folder, and that's because of the current layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my project view. There's a little drop-down menu here, and I'm going to choose a 1-column layout. That's going to convert it from a preview mode to a list mode. And you'll see here that I can now see all of my scenes as well as my materials. And if you're new to Unity and you're not familiar with scenes, we are currently in a scene. By default, when you create a new project, Unity gives you a sample scene. You could think of scenes as levels. So for example, a racing game might have 13 levels. Each level would be a scene. So here we can now actually efficiently navigate our project view. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can save this layout. So to save the layout, you're going to go to the top right and select tall, and then you're going to choose save layout. And that's going to allow you to actually save this layout, which I'm going to call professional layout. Hit enter to save it, And if I go back to the default, I can then actually go back to my professional layout and everything is saved as I need it.